Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content. Today we are going to be taking another tour of Nalcott Farms. So, this was a Season 2 built base. It has now been renovated for Season 3. So, being that we're in Season 3 of the One Man Hive, things have gotten just a little bit more interesting around here. We've added some upgrades. We've taken some things away. And we've just overall made it just a little bit better. We've also started growing some crocodiles. I was thinking I was going to use that for farming the eggs for the Nalcott eggs, but I just don't think we're ever going to get enough eggs from the crocodiles. Alrighty, so I don't actually think like I showed this in very much detail last time I did the tour. This is just like one of my storage areas. This is the lightestly used current storage area. I actually use the oil processing base as the storage area now for the most part. And I call it oil processing, but it's just Crude Collection Center. With, you know, crop facilities and stuff. But as you can see here, these are just the deviations I have here. I'm honestly thinking about removing them. I have so many of the whim mats and so many whims already. I don't need them. I don't really sell them. It kind of seems like everybody has the whim deviations. So yeah, we're not going to look at those vending machines. Please, nobody come find my base and rob me, because all the deviations in these machines are 1 EL. And if you do, well, yeah. Thank you for watching the video, man. Anyway, so this is going to be a new addition to the base here. Let's go ahead and check this out. So first of all, one of the trucks has already been sent out. We are actually going to be venturing out in one of the trucks. I'm going to show you the actual use case of these trucks. I currently have 2 trucks in my fleet. These are fully decked out trucks with 2 64-slot storage crates on top. This allows me to transport up to 128 stacks of any item. If you don't know anything about carry weight items, for me, I like to bring items to my wish box array, which is like stacks and stacks of them, like chest and chest of stuff, and I can't actually fit all that in a single inventory. I can, however, fit it in a single truck and drive the truck there, and it's not actually that bad of a drive, and we will be checking out that drive in a little bit. But as you can see here, we're back in the base now. Like I said, if you want to see the original tour, I kind of did more of a cinematic sort of approach to the tour here. But here's what's going on with the base now. See, we have clean mode on, but it still like pops up menus and stuff. It's interesting. Anyway, so this here is the grocery room setup, and on one side of it, this is a 2-player plot base. On one side of it, for the containers, we have all of like bell flour, cone flour, and all of the 12-hour crops that are required for the Nalcott eggs. But there are also 3 crops that are actually 6-hour grow time, and the reason why we don't just grow all 6-hour grow time crops for the Nalcott eggs, which I just recently finally got the seeds up to where they're actually good. Let's go ahead and check this out before we check out the next additions to the base. You might have noticed a new addition in here as well. 185. So as you can see, I've gotten all the seeds up pretty good. Tomatoes are like my lowest one. I think I had one that was really good. We are working on the cucumbers there. I had a bunch of them when one of the merges happened, like the official going to perma mode, like when Season 3 officially launched. All of my deviations that had seeds in them were returned to owner, which basically meant that I lost thousands and thousands of every seed. So I've been rebuilding my seed count, but we've got that back up. And once again, this is the cooler deep freeze area. I haven't actually put back up like the containers for stuff I sell to vendors and stuff. I really want to put that back there. That really did work well. It kept me in track on getting my vendors sold too, which, while I have been getting that done, yeah, you know. Anyway, so this is no longer the kitchen. We have just turned it into like a little storage area. I kept the little top shelf area there with like the stuff up there. You can't really see it, but I do really think it looks really nice. And if you go into the camera mode, you can see it. Nice little touch. You don't even know it's there. This is this pristine ingredients. So the wish box, you can actually feed certain items that'll actually give you the pristine meats and like the milk and everything like that. And as you can see, the pristine milk and everything like that, and even the eggs. So like I've been feeding the wish box a couple different things. I've been experimenting with the wish box. We've been expanding what all we feed to our wish boxes, because the ingots did get a little bit expensive actually. When I was sitting there like all day going at it, I wasn't actually getting that many ingots in to do it every single day, ingots only. So I started investigating into the other rarities of things, and it turns out you can still get some electronic parts, but you can also get some other really good stuff from the wish box. You can pretty much get anything in the game from the wish box. I'm going to be honest with you. That's pretty crazy how the wish boxes work. But as you can see here, we have 2 sulfur chests full and all of these large synthesis benches, and I think I've spent all the EL on all the other accounts, and I have like 1.3 million EL left. I've been spending a ton of EL the past couple weeks and everything, just trying to get everything done. So I have a bunch of just the rabbits in here, and then this is our new little arcade area. I've been using some of the newer decoration items and such, and then we got this shelf right here. This is a part of the battle pass, actually. So yeah, the latest battle pass had some pretty good stuff in it when it came to like base designs and stuff. There's this little storage closet with this in it. There's this sink, all sorts of stuff. Then we got our bathroom going on here. This was also from the battle pass. Like I said, the battle pass was great for your bathroom. Up top, we're gonna go ahead and check out the kitchen area now, and I even finally have a bedroom since this is my home base. Nalcott Farms is really considered where I sleep and live at. If I ever did actually sleep in the game. This is just a brewing area, just in case I ever get some polluted water I want to brew up for some weird reason. I don't know, I might end up taking it out. I'm not 100% sure if Nalcott Farms is 100% done, but here is the farm area, and this is where we're going to get back to the wish boxes. So, we are making corn ale and malt ales. A full stack of them actually maxes out the wish box, so that takes care of our purple rarity wish box item feed that we're wanting to start getting going on here. Now, I haven't actually completely investigated into seeing the main purpose for why you'd feed purple and everything else. We are going to cover all of this in a video. I do plan on covering the wish box in another video. Do not fret, malt ales. Another interesting point of the wish box, so you know, you heard it here first. I ain't heard no one else say it, so I'm going to claim to be the first to discover this and try it, which is weird because it's only 33. 33 Stardust energy drinks. They are gold rarity items, so for the gold rarity item, I am just going to be making Stardust energy drinks very, very soon in bulk, and for 33 Stardust energy drinks, I can max out a wish box. So it's going to be 33 times the number of wish boxes I'm using. I think we're at 12. I think that's what we're aiming for. We're currently at 11. Let's say 10 though. At 33 would be only 330 energy drinks per hour to get gold rarity returns at maximum points. And I'm pretty sure I've gotten mod crates out. I'm thinking I can get mod crates out of these Stardust energy drinks. I cannot wait to test this out with you guys. We are going to be delving into the wish box very, very soon. But this here is my bedroom setup here. We got this little view here into the crop facilities. That's also where the crocodiles are going on. I'll explain the crocodiles. So there's a little bit of a story behind the crocodiles. Dude just was like, I think I was selling him something or something. He needed something and I hooked him up with it. Or maybe I built something for him. I don't remember. It was either a matic or something. And he gave me 2 crocodiles. And they were S rarity. So I ended up deciding, I'm going to grow these. And so far I've gotten 2 baby crocodiles. I think I've gotten them both placed down. Yeah, so 2 baby crocodiles. I have one side of it, one crop facility houses the breeding side. And then the other side is housing currently the hatchlings. Though eventually they will also... because there's a little breeding hut over there. You can't really see it through the glass, but there's a breeding hut over there, so eventually they will also be breeding up. And I'm hoping with full 6 crocodiles on both sides, I might be able to get some eggs out of it, and if nothing else, I'll be able to make some pristine crocodile meat as eventually the hatchling hut will fill, and I can just slowly kill off crocs and continue to have them, and get some pristine croc meat, and see what we actually want to even do with that. Also, the croc hides could be very, very helpful in other scenarios. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on into what I want to get on into now. So let's go ahead and head back over to the truck array here, because I really do want to cover this and show you the actual use case of the trucks. On a permanent server, there might actually be some use case. So, like I mentioned about the wish boxes, let's go ahead and check this out over here. So this is like another little storage setup here I got going on. So I got like multiple storage things. They're all organized to my liking, so it works perfectly fine for me. This is my ales chest. So, I'll be right back. I'm gonna just take all this out of here real quickly. Also, can I just be the first to say that while the depositing items is not bad, the withdrawing items needs a major overhaul. They've overhauled the water, they've overhauled everything else. I mean, water is so easy to withdraw now, but there's not even a select full stack like hotkey button. I can't just push like Z while hovering over an item to send it to inventory. Like, it's so basic. Like, please make it easier to withdraw stuff. It takes up so much time, and it's like the biggest pain in the butt in the entire game. But what we did there was just grab some ales, and we're going to be feeding those to the wish box. Now, the other thing is I did store some, so we're going to go ahead and feed 30. No, we're just going to do ales, because we should have a full set of stack there. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and get on into the trucks now. Now we need to actually start by loading the trucks. I've actually had the trucks despawn on me a couple different times, so you do want to be careful about actually when you park them there, because sometimes there are merges on Perma-Servers, actually really frequently. It's actually kind of irritating at this point. And if you're not careful, your trucks will despawn. Now, the good thing is everything's just sent to the vault, so you just gotta get the trucks rebuilt. So as you can see, I have the alt loaded on the side there. I actually think I still need to build these stairways real quickly, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so stairway is built, so we can easily get into this truck now. Let's go ahead and hop on in here. We have our storage crates here. We also wanted to go ahead and just throw a skin on these real quickly. This is like my favorite storage container skin of all time, and I do believe it's from like one of the very first loot crate things, and I think it was just like the rare thing you could get for skin wise for the chest, and it's just like the best one I think there is, and it's just silver chest and it looks so good. But as you can see here, the trucks are now built. We're gonna load these full of portable water, or purified water now, because we have a ton of it. This is our water truck here, so that's why we are taking this over to the base. Usually I can just park this over at my other base, as long as I think it's if you park more than one. I wish there was like a why did deposit all. Ooh, X to confirm. I did. It's only 1,000 though, but we're gonna do that. So we're gonna go ahead and head back to the vault and collect our water. We're just gonna fill this truck, and then we're gonna drive it all the way to the oil fields base. Alrighty, and we have finally gotten the water truck here. We're just going to leave it parked. I'm actually just going to go through later and probably transport most of the water to these two water storage containers. And then of course throughout the other farms, I have a water storage container over there for this crop facility, and then plot A and plot B over there. So there's a total of 3 more water storage containers. They do need to be filled manually, so that's what all the water's for. We can also load our crude into the storage containers when they are actually empty and transport them directly back to the base. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of water in there. If we can transport enough crude to actually fill our base with crude, it will allow us to avoid a little bit. It should make it a little bit easier to like transport stuff, and it's a little bit more of a fun way. I can just head over to there, hit the recall button, boom, the truck's gonna be there full of crude. I can use it at any time, and I'll have extra crude just sitting there waiting. And while the truck is at base in its little spawn thing, it usually doesn't despawn. I've had it sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've even respawned my base and it be there. I think it's saved to the base data, actually, when it's sitting on the base, this little plot thing it's on. But the instant you move it, it becomes a rogue base sort of thing. And when it's a rogue base sort of thing, then it can despawn. So yeah, I've had the truck despawn on me like a million times already. Yes, the truck will despawn, but it's still pretty nice to actually use the truck. So as you can see though, that's the crop facilities harvest from this one. I think we were just growing seeds here, if I'm remembering correctly, for the breeding boost. Yeah, so this was just, I think it's just actually just a pure aloe vera. And what is this one? Probably aloe vera. So looks like we're growing pure aloe vera. I might start running growth boost on aloe vera if I have any. I was thinking I might have made some growth boost. Did we have any growth boost? Not that much. I might make some growth boost though if I have the materials for it soon. And get my aloe vera up. We'll see how much we actually got out of that in a minute. But we're gonna head on over to the other facility now. Once again, I've done a tour of both of these bases now, but this was the first tour of the Season 3 version of Nalcott Farms. And then I just also wanted to, you know, just show you how everything's going along, how the bases work together. They really do work together. It's really like being on one base, honestly. It's just they're in two different locations, and I really like the location change because it's a change of scenery. And I literally just drove here from the other base, which is really cool to do because it's like, holy crap, I just drove across this island to my other base, and then I can even drive to my third base, which is even cooler. But as you can see there's the two grow shrooms for over here, and then we're gonna head on over to this final one here. We could probably even go ahead and do an H37 harvest. I really need to do these more often. I think it's actually kind of wasteful for the H37s if you let them stack. I don't seem to get that many more E parts when I let them stack versus when I just harvest them. Though I don't know, we'll see here. Usually I can get up to like 100 or 200 E parts from harvesting these guys. They really do kind of suck, and they do use a lot of power. I'm thinking about tossing them for the sake of more water pumps for oil in the future, but we will see. We're gonna go ahead and check our inventory now though. I think we're gonna switch to keyboard. I do like to use the controller for like a more of a cinematic look, but it's kind of difficult so we need to be over here. Plenty of oranges. This is all going to be used just for expiring and turning into spoiled food so I can make more fertilizer. They'll have plenty of it already. Wheat, this is all going to be ale. All going to be ale materials. This could either be, I think we're going to be making energy drinks with this actually. The saffron here, we're just going to make straight energy drinks. That's what we're about to go do. So we're going to head back to the other base now. We might go ahead and check the water. Let's go ahead and check the water and check the oil here and see how everything's looking. So right here's the oil facility here. We'll go ahead and open this. We'll bang. Oh, not that. We'll bang. That's the water. 28 out of 32. See, it's so little stuff. So all of that can just sit. We don't have to collect any of this. I'll see you once we're back at base. Alrighty, and we're finally back at base. Looks like our skins and everything are still loading. Our textures. All of our wall art doesn't look quite right, but here we go. So that's how the base should look. There we go. It just takes a second to load there. So we're gonna go ahead and actually just start on making all of these energy drinks. I'm not sure on if I even have the aluminum ingots. We might have to go back to the other base for a second and get some aluminum ingots, or I might even just send the alt and have it bring it to me. So let's see here. I think I collected most of the malt, so we're not gonna make these first. We're gonna make the Stardust energy drinks first, because they should actually be the quickest to make. So we need some purified water, and we need some aluminum ingots. So we're gonna go ahead and head on over to the alt now. I use a Chromebook for playing on my alt on GeForce Now, so I'm actually able to like teleport on it to the other base and get materials from it. And with this truck setup, I will actually be able to use the alt on the Chromebook, place stuff in the truck, and then recall it with my main and get the exact materials I need. So we're needing purified water and we're needing aluminum ingots. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to the trucks now on my main and just get ready to respawn it once the material is in the chest. So I'll see you in just a second. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and recall the truck now. Once again, I just did it all on the alt. I kind of just left my main sitting here while I use the alt to transfer everything to the truck, and now all we have to do is recall our vehicle, and boom, all of those materials that we were needing are now over here. This works better if you're just a hive and some other player sends you the materials, but this is how you can transfer materials directly from base to base extremely quickly. I only wish there was a way to select one and then click extract all on the chest. This would make so much easier on running this sort of setup here, or even just taking stuff in and out of your chest to begin with. We're going to go ahead and grab some purified water because we do need that for the Stardust energy drinks. We have a ton of saffron, we have a ton of sugar. I already have like 1.5k sugar or something like that, probably like 1.4k now. I might have made a few energy drinks. We're going to be making a ton of these energy drinks because these are used in wish boxes, like I said earlier, only 33. So we're going to go ahead and make these Stardust energy drinks now. Let's go ahead and hop into this furnace here. Bada bing, bada boom, max, boom, 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 boom. And that is all we can make, and that is at 308. So it's almost 330. It's almost enough to completely fill the wish box. I might have some sitting around. We're also going to go ahead and run through the market and get through that. And as you can see, it only takes 4 minutes per 99 stack, and the only thing we're actually missing here is sugar, surprisingly enough. So it does look like we do need to be growing some beets actively if we're planning on doing this, and I think this might be our new go-to. We might be done growing malt ales. We might have to make this a sugar facility at the oil farm and then be running saffron more in bulk somewhere else, and maybe make the Nalcott eggs only half of the facility here at the main base. I'm not sure, or we need to go ahead and finish the Stardust ore base and get some plot facilities going on there. But regardless, I do believe this is about the end of the Nalcott Farms tour and just how everything here is going on. I do have an extra fridge here just to store some things. You know, so like I have a bunch of this wheat and corn left, so let's see if we can go ahead and make these ales real quickly before we get out of here. So boom, 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 those are the ales for that. And then corn, we have a decent amount of corn too. Wow. So once again, we're feeding both of these. I like the idea of both of these. I want to try both of these. I'm thinking they're giving different ingredients that we're gonna want anyway. I was thinking I found something that gave seeds back. I'm not 100% sure on that. We will be looking back into that. But for now, I do believe this is the end of the video. So go ahead and leave a like on it if you did enjoy it. And keep it beast mode.